This afternoon, we have our second of two draft order shows for you as a special edition of the Fanatically Real Broadcast. Coming up in about 30 seconds, we have the Red Dragons region draft order show for you. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real Broadcast, sponsored by Sport Management Solutions, your one-stop shop for all your athletic communication needs. I apologize for the intro being a little weird. It's a little thrown off when we don't have our recast music to get us going. Hopefully, we will get that fixed by the time the season comes around. But I see some Red Dragons out there with us already. MJ saying she's looking forward to the season. ET out there with us again. Paul says this is when it really matters because this is his region. He finally gets to see himself go up on the board. MJ woot woot. Red Dragons. Hey again, True Crimes. And then Paul, what do you got? What did you have for a snack? I had a bag of Doritos. That's what I had for my snack to get us ready for this next one. Randy, what's up? How are you, brother? So we already did the Loch Ness region draft order show. That was at 1 o'clock today. We now have the 4 o'clock version, the Red Dragons draft order show. Let me make sure I got everything set up over here. It looks like we're good to go. For those who have not seen this before, or even if you have seen it before, you've participated in it before, we're going to go through the instructions again with you all. We'll put this board up on the screen so everybody can see it first. This is the Red Dragons draft board. As you can see, the name of the region is across the top. Logos in the left and right sides. It's 2025. We have slots 1 through 6 and 7 through 12 for the draft order itself. On the left-hand side, we've got basically the slot die. That is where we roll this dice, and that's the slot that we put the team in. And then on this right-hand side, we have the action dice. When we roll the action dice, we take the total of that dice and we go over here to the action dice. And whatever this says, this is what we do. And then when we get down to, once we get down to all 12 teams being up on the board, we do one final roll. That's what this list is over here on this side. Let's see, we had pizza rolls after shopping. That actually sounds pretty freaking good. And I knew you would like the hat. I figured if it was your region going right now, I got to at least wear something. So I actually have a hat for tomorrow's Cerberus draft order show, which is going to be at 1 o'clock. And then I don't have a hat for the 4 o'clock, but it is what it is. So while I'm sitting here talking in just a talking head right now, what I'm doing is I'm folding up each one of the 12 teams' logos right here. I'm folding them into quarters. This is what they look like. You wanted a close-up view of. That's the Bearcats logo right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these up and I'm going to throw them in the Walter the Wizard 25th anniversary hat. This is what that looks like right there, 25th anniversary hat. Once all 12 teams are in the hat, what I'm going to do is shake up the hat. I pull a team out of the hat. We roll the 12-sided die, which is the one on the left-hand side of the screen that was there in the middle that I showed you, and I'll pull it back up here shortly. And that first team gets put in that spot. And after that team is in that spot, then we start rolling the action dice. Give you a little recap of what happened from the Loch Ness region from earlier. 3 teams ended up getting locked. It was the 1, 2, and 6, I believe it was. The final roll ended up being a 5, and it just made everybody end up moving 5. And then we rolled the 12-sided dice to get an even or odd number. We got an even number. Forced everybody down one spot. Of course, the teams that were locked couldn't go anywhere, so they stayed right where they're at, and other teams jumped around them. For those that it matters to, the Loch Ness draft order has already been posted over on Discord. It will be there after we finish this one. This afternoon, I will post both of those out on all of our social media outlets. So you'll be able to go out and see those. And if you feel it in your heart to be nice to me, if you could share it out onto your social media sites as well. I would very much appreciate that, especially if you could share it on X or the former Twitter, so we can try to get a few more followers over there. I did end up getting a new follower today, so that was pretty cool. So we're up to 10 over there now after taking a pretty long break away from X, long enough that it reset my whole account and stuff like that. So last team, which is the Crayon Crusaders, is getting ready to go into the hat. So all 12 are now in the hat. I'm going to give it a good shake. I am going to put the screen back up on the board. Hopefully you'll be able to see down in the bottom left-hand corner a little bit as well. Decided to keep that on there this year. So hopefully you can see the teams as they come out. We'll show those off so you can see, and then you can also realize when I'm putting teams back in and such. So first team out of the hat is the Bearcats, the one that I already showed off just a little bit ago. This is Matt Berger's team. What we're going to do is we're going to roll the 12-sided die, which is the one on the left-hand side. Matt's team in the number 11 spot. So let's go up here to the Bearcats. Let's show it, and let's move it to the number 11 spot. The Bearcats being the first on the board. Let's roll some action dice. You know what? It's never happened. That's a very good question. If the first roll is snake eyes, does that count as the only one? You know what? I don't know, man. I think, you know what? I have one. I'm going to say that first one doesn't count if it's snake eyes on the very first roll, which has never happened, but that's actually a pretty good question. And we would just, that was a Control-Alt-Delete, and we'd restart. And if snake eyes came up again, then we would let it do what it does and pull everybody off of the board. We rolled a 5 with the action dice, which means we're going to roll until a open position is filled. There's only one team on the board, so we should have no problem, unless for some crazy reason the next team we pull out, we end up rolling an 11 for as well. MJ says it looks good on the big screen. Good. I'm glad. Hopefully you'll be able to see everything then. Wildcats and Cam Pritchard, his team coming up out of the hat next. We're going to roll. Here he goes. Erica out there with us again. Hey, how are you? Number 5. So the Wildcats is going up to the number 5 spot. Let's turn them on and unlock them and move them up to the number 5 spot. And let's roll some action dice. Number 9 means we're going to swap with 2D12. Only 2 teams on the board, so I don't know if it's really going to do much of anything. We'll and see what happens. We got a 12 and a 1. That'd be a crazy swap if there was anybody in either one of those spots, but there is not. So we go back. 9. That is going to be the 2D12 again. Rolling it again. Hey, I'm glad you made it. What's up? I'm claiming 4 this year. That's what you want? Okay. Let's see. 9. I'm getting all distracted. 2D12. That's what we're doing. MJ says she wants number 9. So 10 and 11. So Berger's on at 11. We will move him up to number 10. But yeah, if you're shopping with any kind of kid, you're definitely about to be broke. All right, so we just moved Berger up to the number 10 spot. Let's roll those action dice again. Number 9, another 2D12. I feel like when we got these, when we were doing this with the Loch Ness region, as soon as we would get it one time, immediately after that, it was another 2D12. So we just moved him to the number 10 spot, and we rolled a 10 and 11 again, and moving him right back down to the 11 spot. So all of that for him to go up 1 and down 1. Let's see what we get now. We got a number 5, which means we're going to roll until an open position is filled. Only 2 teams on the board. Makes for 10 spots still out there. Hey, what's up? How are you? It's weird whenever it comes up as Cookie. I didn't realize it was you. MJ, I got a little bit left here at the house if you want some black cherry whiskey. It's actually what I'm having right now myself. Pull the next team out of the hat. Number 5, we roll into an open position is filled. The Lone Rangers and Sean Smith getting ready to go up on the board. Let's get this changed out to 1 12-sided die and roll. Let's see where Sean's going to go. He is going in the number 10 spot, which was just vacated. So let's get the Lone Rangers up there and put him in the number 10 spot. All right, and let's roll some action dice. Turd is out there. 10, we're going to do 3-team swap with 3D12. So it'll be 3 12-sided dice that will come up. I have no doubts about that. We're going to roll 3 12-sided die. We're going to read it from left to right. The number 1 dice moves to the number 2 spot. Number 2 moves to number 3. Number 3 moves to number 1. Only 3 teams on the board. I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of moving around or not. Let's find out. All right, so we are doing 12 to 12 to 12, and there's nobody in that spot. Oh man, I think we need to play the lottery right now without popping up. That's pretty funny. All right, let's roll some action dice. 10 again, another 3-team swap. Let's keep it right there and roll them again. Let's see if we get a different result this time. All right, from left to right, we got the 9, the 6, and the 5. So nobody's in 9 to move to 6. Nobody is in 6 to move to 5. But 5 is in there to move to 9. So we will move the Wildcats down here to the number 9 position. 9 to 6, 6 to 5, 5 to 9. There we go. All 3 teams up on the board are now in the 9, 10, and 11 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 7. This is where we pull a team out of the hat, and we continue to roll until we get an open spot. So if for some crazy reason this 12-sided die gives us a 9, 10, or 11, we would just roll again. Let me get this back down to 1 die, and we are putting on the board the Power Claws, and Ricky Thomas is going up, and he is going to go in the number 4 spot. So MJ, he's got your spot right now, but you know how this goes. You never know what spot you're going to get until we get down through that final roll. But for now, he is sitting in the number 4 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 4. This means we're going to move everybody up or down with an odd or an even number on the 12-sided dice. We're going to roll it. And we got an odd number, means everybody's moving up 1 position. So Power Claws, we're at 4. So he's vacating your spot, MJ, going up to 3. Wildcats go up to 8. The Lone Rangers go up to 9. Bearcats go up to 10, where they sat for just a little bit. She says, kick him out. Well, he is now moved out of your spot. 4, we're doing it again. I bet you we get an even number and roll everybody, or put everybody right back down where they were at. Yep, look at that. Everybody goes right back. All right, MJ, he's back in your spot. Bearcats in 11. Lone Rangers back in 10. Wildcats back in 9. Let's roll the action dice again. Action dice say 8. This is where we will do a D12, and we will replace a team if the position is filled. So if we roll anything except for 4, 9, 10, 11, this team will go into that spot. If we roll one of those 4 numbers, this team will replace that team stuck together, and that team that is in that slot will come off the board and get put back in the hat. The Crayon Crusaders, one of our rookies this year, Katie B, she's getting ready to go up on the board. I got to figure out where she's going to go. She's going in the number 8 spot. There is nobody in that spot, so she will just take it. So let's get that team churned on. Crayon Crusaders in the number 8 spot. All right. Let's roll some action dice. Number 4, moving everybody up or down on the board again with an odd or an even. Let's see what we get this time. We get an even, which means everybody's moving down 1 spot. So he's coming out of your spot again, MJ, but now to 5. Bearcats to 12. Lone Rangers to 11. Wildcats to 10. Crayon Crusaders to number 9. Roll that dice again. Action dice say 11 means we're going to lock a team. So if we roll a 12-sided die right now and we end up getting 5, 9, 10, 11, or 12, that team will get locked. And remember, once they're locked, nothing can affect them, not even snake eyes. And we get a number 10. So Wildcats, Cam Pritchard, you're getting the lock put on you, and you are not moving anywhere the rest of this time. So number 10 spot, everybody will jump over number 10. 10 is locked. Cam, you are in the number 10 spot. Let's go back to the action dice. We ended up with 3 locks in the Loch Ness region, which is pretty rare. I feel like after doing this for a lot of years, having that many locks is a pretty big deal. 11 is a hard number to get. So we just rolled a 4 and a 6, which is 10, means we're going to do a 3-team swap with 3D12. Remember, reading these from left to right, see what we get. All right, so 8, 8, and 11. So 8 moves to 8, can't happen. 8 moves to 11. We don't have anybody in 8, but 11 will move up to 8. So the Lone Ranger's getting out of the 11 spot and moving to the 8 spot. Let's roll some action dice. 4. 4 means we're moving everybody up or down one time again. Let's roll one 12-sided die and see if everybody's moving up or down. It is a 6, which means everybody is moving down one position. So Power Claws are now in a 6 spot. Remember, the board is circular. So the Bearcats move up to number 1. Because the Wildcats are locked, we skip over the Wildcats, and Crown Crusaders go from number 9 to number 11, and then the Lone Rangers go from 8 to 9. KDB, I don't know if you saw it out there or not, but you are in the number 11 spot right now. We're rolling some action dice. Number 9 says that we are going to do a swap with 2D12. Let's see if we get any numbers that affects the board. We got a 3 and a 9. There's nobody in the 3 spot, but there is somebody in the 9 spot, which means the Lone Rangers are moving again, and they are moving up to the number 3 spot. Roll some action dice. You were 11 for the APBL. You got to remember that was also 14 teams. It'll be a little bit different with 12 teams. All right, we got 12, which is flip the whole board. So for everybody who wants to know what that looks like, 1 becomes 12, 2 becomes 11, 3 becomes, it goes like that. So what we're going to do is the Bearcats are going to go down to 12. Katie's going to go from 11 to 2. We cannot swap the Power or the Lone Rangers, I said Power Rangers, the Lone Rangers down to the number 10 spot because it's locked, but we can take the Power Claws from number 6 to number 7, and that's the flipping of the board. And yeah, Paul, you're right. Lots of shifts. We need to get some more people up on the board. I agree. All right, let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 8, which means we're going to roll a D12, and this team is going to go on the board. If it is a spot that we already have a team in, we will respin it again. It will replace, but if it's the locked team, we will spin again. The team going up on the board, MJ, Southern Sirens. Let's see where you're going to go on this board. So since it is an 8, we will replace any team except for the lock team with whatever role you get here with the 1D12. You are going in it's like you just forecasted this thing. You're going to number 4, at least for the moment. So Southern Sirens going up in the number 4 spot, just as she wished it before we got started. All right, let's do some action dice. Oh, and there comes the snake eyes. All right, so other than Cam, who is locked, will stay out of the hat. All the rest of you, and we'll take you guys off the board while I reset everything. I will fold up all of the people. MJ, that's what happens. You get up on the number 4 spot in the snake eyes and pull you right off the board. So let's take everybody who was already on the board, minus Cam, fold you all up, put you back in the hat. ET says boo. MJ says bullshit. You know what? I'm putting that up on the screen. I don't care if I get in trouble for it. Boo, bullshit. He said too soon. Paul said the same thing. It was too early. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I think we had 7 or 8 on the board whenever it happened in the Loch Ness, so I'm not so mad about it happening now. All right, so let me get you guys all moved over off the board except for Cam. Get you guys all hidden up again. It'll be like this never happened. So what we'll do is we'll do just like we're starting all over again. We just happen to have a locked team this time. So what we'll do is make sure I get all the eyeballs off of everybody here. I'm missing one. Bearcats need to come off and the Power Claws need to come off. There we go. What we'll do is we'll shake up the hat. We'll pretend just like we're pulling the first one out. We'll roll a 12-sided die. We'll put that one person in that spot, and then we'll roll the action dice after that. All right. So I'm pointing to the outfield for 4. Is that for a home run? All right. Let's get everybody back up on the screen here. Let's pull the name out of the hat. Like I said, Cam's the only one that didn't go back in the hat. He's locked. Let's pull the first team out. we will roll the 12-sided die and put them on the board. And it is the Crayon Crusaders going up on the board again. She is going in the number 9 spot. So, Katie, let's get you turned back on here. Crown Crusaders going in the number 9 spot. And then we will start rolling action dice again. Action dice says number 5. 5 says we're going to roll until an open position is filled. But before we do that, we need to pull another one out of the hat. Grand Slam is what she's saying for that number 4. We're going to put Power Claws back. And since it's a 5, we will roll until an open position is filled. Only 9 and 10 are taken up. So as long as it's not that number, we will put them in a slot. Power Claws is going into the number 2 spot. Let's get him turned on. Power Claws into the number 2 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 5, which means we're going to roll until an open position is filled. 9 more spots on the board since there's 3 of them in there already. Let's see if we can pull a different team out that we haven't seen yet. We are putting Paul. We're putting you up on the board. The Rochester Rabbits getting ready to go up on the board. Since it's a number 5, we will roll until an open position is filled. Pretty light board right now, so you should make it. And you're going into MJ's number 4 spot for the moment. Let's get you unlocked and then put you in the number 4 spot. And then roll some action dice. Action dice says 4. We're going to move everybody up or down based on a roll of the 12-sided die, odd or even. It is an even number, means everybody is moving down 1 position. So, Paul, you're moving to 5. Power Claw's moving to 3. Katie, you can't go to 10, so you skip over the lock team and move to number 11. Number 10, 3-team swap with 3 D12. Again, we read these from left to right. We are going 2 to 8, 8 to 2. So there's no 2, there's no 8s. None of that gets affected. So we are going to roll the action dice again. Paul asking for a lock at the 4 spot, but he's now in the 5 spot. Number 8 means we're going to roll a D12 and replace the team if there is somebody, and that's only if we get the 3, 5, or 11, because if we get the 10, we would roll again. Or if it's an open spot, this team goes right on the board. Lone Ranger's getting ready to go back up on the board. Let's get us down to 3 or to 1 die. And we are putting the Lone Rangers in the number 2 spot. So Sean going to the number 2 spot. Board's filling up a little bit now. We got 5 teams on the board, almost halfway there. Let's do some action dice. Action says 8, which means we're going to do another D12. In this case, we will replace the team if we get a number that already has a team in it. If not, this team will just go on the board. There's going to be Chaos and Trevor Boyd getting ready to go up on the board. He is going to go in the number 4 spot, MJ spot. So it's being taken up again. Chaos is moving up to the 4 spot. And now we are officially halfway filled. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 6, which means we're going to swap with a 2D12. Let's put 2 12-sided dice up on the board and roll them. And we get a 9 and an 11. So, Katie, you were in 11. After you jumped over the Wildcats, you're now back in the number 9 spot. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 7, which means we're going to put a team on the board in an open spot. We got 6 open spots. We will continue to roll until we get one of those open ones to get this team on the board. And that team is the Olave Garden, which is one of our rookies. This is Justin Hernandez's team. This logo turned out great. I'm very excited about it. We are going to put him in one of these open spots, and we got to keep rolling until we get one. Number 4 is taken up, so we will roll again. Number 3 is taken up, so we will roll again. We'll keep rolling until we get an open spot. That is telling me that is 12 sitting on its edge on my screen up here at the top. So Olave Garden is going in the number 12 spot. There we go. Olave Garden on the board. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 7. Same thing is going to happen. Whatever team we pull out of this hat We got 5 open spots left. We will have to keep rolling until we get one of those spots. This is the part that sometimes takes a little bit. Yeah, the Olave Garden was a good one, man, especially with the way it came together too. I ran a whole bunch of iterations of it afterwards too, and that was the initial, and it was just great. Epidemic Elephants and Jason Trumbley getting put on. Let's see where we're putting him. We're going to roll until we get an open spot. 7 is open. He's going right in there. This one's another one of those great logos. Epidemic Elephants going to number 7. All right. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice say 6, which means we're going to swap with 2d12. Let's see if it affects anything on the board. Board says number 3 and number 12. So Olave Garden just hit the spot in the 12 spot. He's moving up to 3, and Power Claws are coming down here to number 12. 3 and 12. Let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 8, which means we're going to roll a d12, single one, and we're going to replace a team if we spin a number or roll a number that has got somebody already on the board. And if not, this team will go right into whatever open slot we got. We only have 4 of them left. Who do we got? We got the Southern Sirens. MJ, you're getting ready to go back on the board. You're hoping for that number 4 because now you can knock somebody off the board. Let's see if you do or not. Number 11, open spot. So you're just going right into that spot. So Southern Sirens moving into the number 11 spot. 3 spots left, 3 teams in the hat. Making sure, just doing a quick count. We're good. Let's roll some action dice. Number 11, I'm going to lock a team. Board is pretty full right now. I can see this absolutely locking a team. Let's see what happens. Team that is getting locked is number 5. Nobody's. Oh, there is. Paul, you're in that spot. I was thinking 5 was there on the end. Paul, you are getting locked. You asked for a lock, but I think you wanted it in the number 4 spot just to mess with MJ. Instead, we're going to lock you in at the number 5 spot. So you will be skipped over, and any other thing that happens after this, hopefully you're okay with the number 5 spot. Maybe you can draft what's his butt from there instead of the 8 spot. We'll see what happens. All right, we got 3 open spots left. Let's roll some action dice. 2 locked teams. 10 is going to be a 3D12 swap. Let's see how this turns out with locked players. All right, we're reading this from left to right. We got 8 to 9, 9 to 11, 11 to 8. So 8 to 9, there's nobody there. 9 to 11. So Katie, you're taking over MJ's spot. MJ, you're going from 11 to 8. A little bit of a flip-flop there, but the number 9 not really getting affected by anything. Let's see, did I do that right? Let's see. This is where you guys are at, right? Katie, were you in the 8 spot? I might have just messed that up, so I want to make sure I do this right. It wasn't a swap to the you should have been here to the 9 spot. 9 would go to 11. That didn't affect 11. Should go to 8. So that should be the set there, correct? Anybody can back that up, and I won't roll again until I know for sure. Katie should be 9 and MJ should be 8. Or was Katie in the 9? Oh, you were in the 9 spot. Okay, so I was right the first time. So you were in the 9, you would go to 11, and then MJ would go up to the 8. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate you. That makes more sense now. And then one more time, make sure that's right. Give me a thumbs up before I roll the next dice. I'm glad you're paying attention. Okay, good. Katie says she was 9. MJ says that Katie was in 9. Call it gospel. Let's roll some action dice. Thank you both. Appreciate you. Number 4, moving everybody up or down 1 spot based on an odd or an even roll. We are even, which means everybody's moving down 1 position. So let's roll the power claws up to 1. Katie, you're now moving to 12. MJ to 9. Epidemic Elephants to 8. Paul, you can't move. We're moving 4 to 6. Olave Garden to 4. And the Lone Rangers from 2 to 3. So power claws go from 12 to 1. We skipped over our one locked team still got 3 open spots. Let's roll some dice. Dice a 10. We are going to do the 3D12 again. Make sure I get it right this time. Keep me straight. All right, left to right. 11 is going to go to 6. There is nobody in 11. 6 would go to 1. So 11 would go to 6. 6 would go to 1. And 1 would go to 11. So Trevor now has the number 1 spot. And Ricky is in the number 11 spot. Yep, there we go. Cool. Roll some action dice. Action dice says 7. That means we're going to pull a team out of the hat, and we're going to roll until one of those spots, which is 2, 6, and 7, get filled. We're down to only having a few spots left, so this is where it takes a long time sometimes to get stuff filled. There we go. Turd Ferguson finally coming out of the hat. Jason getting ready to go up on the board. Let's roll some action dice. Let's figure out where you're going to go. Since you got a 7, you're going to go 2, 6, or 7. We're going to keep rolling until we get one of those 2, 6, or 7. That's an 8. 2, 6, or 7. 2, 6, or 7. There's a 7. All right, we're going to put you in the 7 spot. Let me pull you up here. Turd Ferguson going into the number 7 spot. Such a great name. All right, let's roll some action dice. Action dice says 11, which is locking another team on the board. We have only 3 locks in our little inventory here, and the board's pretty much full. So I feel like somebody else is getting locked right now. Only 2 spots left. Number 8 is getting locked. So Epidemic Elephants are getting that 3rd lock. Let's move them over. Pretty interesting that we've had 3 on both sides today now. We got 2 names left in the hat. We got 2 slots left, 2 and 6. Roll some action dice. Snake Eyes again. We don't do Snake Eyes a second time. It is a 3-team swap, just like it is for number 10. So we will put 3 12-sided die on the board. Let's see what we get from left to right on this one. So we got 5 goes into 2. 5 is locked. Can't do anything. 2 goes into 11. There's no team at 2. 11 will go into 5. That can't happen because it's locked. So nothing happens in that swap right out, or that 3-team swap after we got Snake Eyes. So we just go to the action dice again. Action dice says 9, which means we're going to do a swap with 2 12-sided dice. Let's see what teams get moved around this time. We are moving number 12 and number 1. So Katie, you go from 12 up to 1. Trevor goes from 1 to number 12. What's funny about this is that can change real easy if we slide up or down 1 spot too. Yeah, Snake Eyes like me. There's been very few times that we've ever gotten through this without Snake Eyes. So it is what it is. Number 5, we are going to roll until an open position is filled. So 2 spots left, 2 names left in the hat. So we're going to pull one out, and we're going to roll until we get a 2 or a 6. This could take a while. We'll see who we're putting on the board. We're putting the Unicorn Legends up on the board. Let's see where we end up putting Mrs. FSA. Let's get down to 1 12-sided die. She's going to go in 2 or 6. That's a 7. That's an 8. 8's coming up quite a bit today. 2, that's a 9. Ooh, I thought it was going to stay there on 2. That's a 10. She's got to get a 2 or a 6. Good Lord, this could take a while. That's a 6. All right, so Unicorn Legends going in the number 6 spot. It's not a bad spot to be because that could end up being a number 1 spot if we end up just flopping that top row in the final roll if nothing else really moves from now until then. So 1 team left in the hat, 1 spot left to go, but we still have to roll the action dice to see what the action is. In case something else moves before then. It's number 5, which means we're going to roll until an open position is filled. We already know what the open position is. It's number 2. We got 1 team left in the hat. This team is going to go up there. It is going to be the Bearcats, which I think might have actually been the first one out of the hat after we showed them off at the very beginning. Bearcats going into the number 2 spot. All right, board is full right now, but we still have to do the final roll. We change out the 2 6-sided die to 2 4-sided die, and then as you can see, the final roll list, that's the stuff that we do for this one. If you get a 2, we swap 2d12. 3, we swap 3 teams with 3d12. 4, we do 4d12. 5, we move everybody up 1 spot or down 1 spot based on odd or an even, just like we did in the upper chart. If we get a 6 and it says it flips a row with a roll, what we do is we roll a 12-sided die. Whatever number pops up, that's the row that we're going to flip. And what that looks like is, let's use the top row for instance. If we get that, the 1 becomes the 6 and the 3 becomes the 4. Since the 5 is locked, 2 does not move into that spot. If we get the number 7, which is flipped both rows, then the same thing happens on the bottom where 7 will become 12, and then that will be the only one that moves because 11 can't move with 8 because there's a lock, and 9 can't move with 10 because there's a lock. If we end up getting 8, which is flip the whole board, then 1 becomes 12, 2 becomes 11, so on and so forth, but we still can't move anybody that has a lock on them. So let's roll these 2 4-sided die and see what happens, see what number we get, and then see what we're going to do for this board. It is a number 5. Move everybody up or down 1 position. That's crazy because it's the same thing that happened with the lockless one. So let's see what we get. We're going to move everybody up or down 1 spot. It is an odd number. That is a number 9, which means everybody moves up 1 position. Remember, the board is circular. So what that means is Katie comes down here to the number 12 spot. Everybody shifts up 1. Bearcats go to 1. Lone Rangers go to 2. Olave Garden go to 3. Misty skips over and goes to number 4. Jason moves up to number 6. MJ, you will move up to number 7. Power Claws move up to 9. Trevor moves up to 11. And then Katie comes down here and is in the number 12 spot. So let me get these all straight up here a little bit better. I will take a screenshot of this. I will post it on Discord inside the regional channels and the overall WRL, probably the overall community chat as well. And then I will be posting out on social media as well. So if you're an Instagram follower, a Facebook follower, an X follower, you'll be able to find this same stuff out there as well. Hopefully you all enjoyed it this year. MJ, yep, we definitely have to plan a draft party. Agreed. Congrats to everyone. We just got to figure out what date. So that is the most important thing for you all right now is to get inside your Discord channel and start talking about what dates are not available for you. That way we can start putting the schedule together for each one of the regions and when we want to hold the drafts. So I appreciate you all. This will be it. Let's look at the board one more time before I take a snapshot of it. This will be it as far as broadcasts go for the day. We will be back again tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the Cerberus region, and then at 4 o'clock for the Krakens region for their draft order shows as well. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Hit me up on Discord. We'll talk to you all soon.